So today, I'm going to tell you the story of how I started becoming a gamer. This is going to be a whispered video, some gum chewing because I am chewing one of my favorite gums right now. I'm also drinking a V8 Energy, so you might hear me sipping on that from time to time as well. But without further ado, let's get into my story. So, when I was about maybe 12 years old or so, and it's all on the news, so I don't care about telling it or talking about it. When I was about 12 years old, the house that we used to live in was sitting right next to a bowling alley. And I can't really remember all the details, but somehow some guy snuck into the bowling alley and set it on fire. With that being said, part of our house caught on fire as well, and firefighters, for some reason or another, had to bust into our house, destroy all of our furniture and everything with their big giant water hoses, just to try to break down our walls, to try to break through the bowling alley walls, because the flames were so intense they couldn't go through the front door of the bowling alley. They had to run into our house, bust down our walls, just to bust into the side of the walls to the bowling alley, if that makes sense, right? So needless to say, we lost literally everything we had. We had a duck feathered couch that we had lost. We just had so many amazing, beautiful things that we had lost. And we had to move, of course, right? Well, we had a few people from different organizations coming to help us, giving us food and clothing and stuff. And there's this one guy that worked up at a secondhand store. When he learned about the situation that my family and myself been through, he gave me and my brother brand new beds. I mean, they were like secondhand beds, but it was brand new to us, right? He gave us beds. He went ahead and gave us boxes upon boxes of every single video game you can think of, and a couple boxes of consoles. So we had gotten Nintendo 64s, Sega Genesises, we got a bunch of consoles and a bunch of games. And my brother and I, once things in our life settled down for me and my brother and my mom and my dad, and once we got a new home to live in, it really just settled down after that traumatic event. My brother and I, we really started playing and checking out these video games for the Sega Genesis, for the Nintendo 64. There was one game in particular that got my attention. There was one game in particular that really intrigued me for the Nintendo 64. And it was called Force Gemini. I'm gonna insert a little picture right here. But this game, Force Gemini, was the game that really got me hooked on shooting games. It took us a couple years to beat this game, Force Gemini, because it's such a long game, and there's so many puzzles and so many things to do in it, right? And also, the soundtracks to this game are amazing. I still listen to some of the soundtracks to this game because it's just, there's something about those late 90s, early 2000s soundtracks to video games that are just nostalgia or something to me, it reminds me of the good parts of my childhood, But anyway, Force started getting into gun games. Now, years later, as an adult, the place where I was working at, I met a guy there that was a lot older than me. I think he was like in his 50s and I was like maybe 19 or 20. But long story short, he and I both hit it off. We hit it off as like a granddaughter and a grandfather. Like he and I both had that connection, okay? His name was Aaron. And this man, he didn't have any children of his own in his younger years. So he and I both were pretty close. And he bought me my very first console that I didn't have to share with my brother. He got me my very first PS4. He bought me the game Destiny 1. And from that point forward, he and I both played Destiny 1 every single day. He was a Titan main. I was a Hunter main. Hold on, I gotta get a drink of my V8 juice. Okay, I'm good. So, myself and Aaron, we would play Destiny 1 religiously together every single day. And when I moved out of my parents' house and all that other stuff happened, when life itself happened, and when I got pregnant with my daughter Zelda, I found out that, so let me backtrack a little bit here. My friend Aaron, he had cancer, bone marrow cancer, and he and I both, hung out together. We would go for walks together. We would go play video games. Like I said, we had that grandfather-granddaughter relationship going, okay? But it's weird because when I found out that I was pregnant with my daughter, it's almost like his cancer was getting worse. Like it was really dragging him down. And he wasn't really able to play Destiny much anymore. He wasn't really able to, go for walks in the park anymore. Like the bone marrow cancer was in his hips. It was eating his hips. And it's like, again, it was like his cancer got so much worse and he really wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't able to do as much stuff as he would have done before, if hopefully that makes sense. But also, the chemo that he was taking, it was kind of messing with his mind a little bit as well, so everything was just getting harder and harder and harder for him. And every now and then he would still hop on Destiny, but he wouldn't play very long because of his cancer and the chemo and what it was doing to his brain and everything, and just his body in general. And it was really hard for me. And Aaron and myself, he and I both would text each other every single day. I would ask him, how's his hips doing? Did you take your pain meds today? But he would always tell me that he didn't want to take pain medication because he already knew what was going to happen, and he just wanted to, tough it out. And it was really hard on me physically and mentally knowing that I was about to have my daughter and my best friend was going to die. It was really, really hard on me physically and mentally and emotionally. He told me months before my daughter was born, he had told me that he was excited to see Zelda when she was born. He was going to be her adopted grandfather. He was going to be there for her the same way he was always there for me. he was always going to be there. He was so excited. He said that he was going to come to the hospital and hold Zelda when she was born and everything. But unfortunately, things took a drastic turn, and it did not end like that. When I was about 2 months away from having Zelda, I was told by my mother that Aaron's cancer was getting worse, that he might not make it. When Zelda, basically my mom told me that by the time Zelda was born, Aaron would already be dead. He was already going to pass away. So again, it was affecting me mentally, emotionally, physically. It was just bobbing me around. And it's messed up because Zelda was supposed to be born on January 18th, 2018. But when I woke up that morning, I got out of bed, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, today is the day Zelda is supposed to come out of my body and enter the world. Like, I gotta get ready for this. Like, I got to be strong, and like, I have this kind of mentality until my brother called me on the phone and asked me if I was sitting down. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm sitting down. I'm eating some food. Why? And he told me, he's like, Aaron died this morning. I know you're supposed to give birth to Zelda today or even tomorrow, but Aaron died this morning. I was angry. I was angry at God. I was angry at Aaron himself. I was like, why did you leave me? But I prayed to God. I was like, I can't have this baby right now. I cannot give birth to my child when my best friend just died. I can't do this today. Like, please don't make me have her today. I guess God answered my prayers because I didn't end up having her until January 25th, 2018. So it was like a whole week later. And it was a very difficult birthing process for me. That's another story for next time. But it was a very difficult birthing process for me. I think because like the anesthesiologist, I can't say that word correctly, but he did not know what he was doing. Again, another story for next time. But after I had my daughter, after I had Zelda, a couple months down the line, when I was able to really get up and start walking and moving perfectly again, I started playing Destiny 2. I couldn't play Destiny 1 anymore because it was full of memories of Aaron. And he and I both playing Destiny 1 together. So I couldn't play Destiny 1 at that point. I was only able to play Destiny 2 as like a fresh start, And all these years later, it's now me and my daughter Zelda playing Destiny 2 every single day together. It's almost like how Aaron and I used to play together, Zelda and I, we are normally hunters on Destiny 2. Like, we're hunter mains, and we play it almost every single day. And every single day when we hop on Destiny 2, I just think of Aaron. I do, because like I said, he and I both used to play Destiny all the time, and now my daughter and I, we play Destiny all the time. So, it's, so Zelda is, a few months from now, she's going to be 7 years old. So, Aaron's been gone for a while, but I still hold on to the good memories. Anyways, that is all I have for this story today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my whispering. I hope you enjoyed my stories. I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.